Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about Chelsea Fagan. She is a brilliant lady woman, financial guru, and so she gives advice. She discusses money on YouTube. She's absolutely compelling. I can't like Dave Ramsey. I'm an evangelical Christian. He's an evangelical Christian. I can't listen to him for 5 minutes. He's not compelling. He's not interesting. Says the same junk. Says nothing of interest. I can predict every word that's going to come out of his mouth, right? Like, and that's the thing with Chelsea. You can't predict every word. You can't predict a single word that's going to come out of her. She's very compelling. Now, what's interesting is I believe there's a lot of, she discusses this on her channel. She claims to be rich, right? I think you kind of have to claim to be rich to be a financial, guru. To give anybody advice on money, you have to have money. Now, actually, yeah, that's interesting. And so I don't think and here's the thing. I think she's rich. I think she knows how to generate wealth. And I think she knows how to preserve wealth, right? But every single political idea she has is outrageously wrong. It is shockingly wrong, right? So I want to talk about a video she recently did, and she was talking, and it was a great video. I highly recommend it. Chelsea Fagan, and the name of the video is "Riching Right: How to Rich Right," right? And it's this discussion of how there's a huge discussion around wealth right now. How do you rich right, and how do you rich wrong, right? Like, people are like, "Oh, Jeff Bezos, you're riching wrong. Can't have a big luxurious wedding in Venice. That's wrong." And then other people are like, "Oh, hey, look at you. We're normcore over there. That's riching right." It's just like, and it was a very, very interesting video. But in it, one of the things she said was, she's like, not only are we, are we completely wrong about wealth in America, we don't even understand that the levels of wealth we have in America shouldn't exist. You're like, what? Like, right? And so she's from this group of people who are like, we don't need billionaires, we don't need trillionaires, right? Maybe it's okay if we just have millionaires. Like, why does somebody need 300 million? Why wouldn't their lives be just as rich, air quotes, with 30 million, right? And this is a very extremely widely held opinion, right? And what really fascinates me about this is an outrageously foolish idea, right? But it's not stupid, and this is interesting. And Chelsea Fagan is not stupid, right? A lot of times people hear stuff they don't agree with, and they're like, "That's stupid," right? That's not correct. It's foolish, right? It is, and she is not stupid. She's outrageously smart. But every political concept she have is shockingly wrong, right? But she's highly compelling. It's why, again, I'm an evangelical Christian. You can't spin around and throw a foam rock and not hit some Christian. "Oh, Dave Ramsey knows how to use money," right? Like, I can't listen to 5 minutes of his content, right? Whereas Chelsea Fagan, I've listened to pretty much everything she's ever done on YouTube. It's fascinating, right? And Dominic Sandbrook, he's like, it's worse to be boring than to be wrong. In America, boy, is that true. Boy, is that true. The death of your ideas, the death of your prominence, the death of your relevance comes when you are boring, right? And I think it's one of the reasons why Democrats lost so badly in 2020. "Oh, you know what? You know what Donald Trump is? He's a fascist." Yeah, I heard you that 80. I heard you that 80 other times you said it today, right? They didn't realize, right? "Oh, we're right. It didn't matter if you were right. Didn't matter if you were right. What mattered was that you were boring. You were boring." Dominic Sandbrook. I believe that's one of the. It is the most I believe that's one of the biggest new concrete realities of the 21st century. You better be wrong before you're boring. If you're boring, you're gone. You're gone, right? And Chelsea Fagan is not boring. She is brilliant, and she's compelling and fascinating, right? All right, so she says, "Hey, we shouldn't even have these levels of wealth in America." And here's the kicker, right? So I think Chelsea Fagan, I'm really fascinated by her, right? but she wants to get her ideas across. You know, we don't just want to say something. We want to get other people to believe what we say. I'm in this boat, right? I have this outrageously unusual idea about one thing I'm passionate about, and I want to convince others, right? And so I say it, and I just say it, and I say it, and I try to find different ways to say it, and I try not to be boring. And I think I succeed at that. That's one of the reasons why my channel has been growing, right? Because I am not boring, right? And that's and what's really interesting is she you know, but I'm not able to do it, and I think she's struggling to do it too. And here's why: messaging, right? Hasan Minhaj, brilliant, very good comedian. I really like his stuff. He had a great television show that used like all these data visualization and like screens on the floor. It was wild. He was way ahead of his time, and I feel really bad that his show got canceled. I think maybe one of the reasons why it got canceled was it took too long. If he could have made it every day, it probably would have worked. But I think they did it like once a week, and it cost a fortune, right? But you know, I have to say that. Steal that idea. Do Hasan Minhaj's structure every day, right? Like, yeah. It's really interesting. So, but here's the kicker, right? So what is she really saying? She's saying, oh, we shouldn't have these levels of wealth. These levels of wealth shouldn't even exist in America, right? Now, first of all, I think this idea is outrageously wrong, right? But if you're her and you want people to be like, oh yeah, we don't need billionaires, let's just have a bunch of billionaires, right? And let's say, hey, if you get to the point where you're, you know, once you hit $1 billion, all your money goes to the government, right? Like, it gets returned to the people, right? Like, hammer and sickle, okay, right? Like, well, all right, let's keep going. All right, but that's her real concept, right? You got to message it right. How do you message it right? What is Chelsea Fagan actually saying? MAPA, make America poor again. That's what she's really saying, right? That would be, and you're like, well, she couldn't say that. Couldn't say that. People will laugh. Yeah, they might. But you know what? It'd be catchy. People would start paying attention. Like, people would legit start paying attention, right? And it would like being behind enemy lines, right? If Chelsea Fagan was like, I'm the number one proponent for MAPA, make America poor again. We don't need billionaires, and if we get rid of billionaires, we'll make sure there are never any trillionaires. I don't think there's any trillionaires right now. I don't think anybody in the world has $1 trillion, right? Has 1,000 billions. And so, you know, the thing that fascinates me is, to get what she wants, she'd have to adopt the tactics of the enemy. She'd have to go behind enemy lines, use their outfits and their weapons, you know, like. But I was fascinated when I was listening to her, and I'm like, you're saying MAPA just with bad messaging, right? And the reason why I mentioned Hasan Minhaj earlier is he talked to like Elizabeth Warren, right? And he's like, we have the best ideas. We have great ideas for America. We actually care about America, but our messaging is garbage, right? Donald Trump is taking us behind the woodshed with a switch. We are getting beaten on messaging. And he was right. Man, was he right. He was so right, right? He was shockingly right. They're just getting crushed on messaging, right? So if Elizabeth Warren really doesn't want, you know, these levels of wealth to exist in America, she could get it done. She could raise the banner for MAPA. Make America poor again. Fascinating. Go check out her stuff. Her channel is 50 times better than mine. Don't ever watch another video of mine before you watch hers. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.